Kindly introduce yourselves to the committee.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'm Reverend Stephen Yawse, the Chief Director of the Ministry of Western Housing.
Chum Ampofo, Rent Control Department.
Dr. Emmanuel Yaboche, Registrar, Actor Registration Council.
Engineer Beneza Maktete, Director Western Housing.
Please, the Honorable Deputy Minister is on his way.
Okay. All right. So we'll start and wait for the minister to join us. Now, you've been cited for few infractions. As a headquarters, Rent Control Department, and then Western Housing, and Architects Registration Council. The first one is on paragraph 569, which is on unapproved use of internally generated fund. 3.6 million Ghana cedis. That the auditors noted that without authorization by Parliament, the Ministry of Western Housing collected non-tax revenue totaling 4.2 million Ghana cedis and spent 3.6 million Ghana cedis out of the amount. The auditors have recommended that the Chief Director should ensure that the Ministry pay this money into the consolidated fund. They also recommended that until approval for the retention is obtained, all non-tax revenue should be paid in gross into the consolidated fund. So, Reverend Chief Director, I want to find out if you have any authorization to retain your IGF or a portion of it.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. Chair. I think we've been before you for a number of years concerning this issue. And by your assistance, the ministry received 33% retention. Even though it's not enough to assist running the ministry, we are grateful to you and the Minister of Finance for this initial percentage of retention. We are pleading that you assist us to get 100% retention. Oliver Twist, we are asking for more. Because when we look at the expenditure that we do at the headquarters, and then what we receive as goods and services, it cannot be compared. So we are forced to, but now we are obeying the law. We pay everything into an account, and immediately we pay, automatically we receive our portion of the 33%, which we are using to run the ministry. But as I said, Oliver Twist, we are asking for more in order to have the management to run effectively the ministry. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. So let me come back to the main question that was recommended by the auditors, that the Chief Director should ensure that the ministry pay the 3.6 million into the consolidated fund. Has that been done?
Honorable, it has not been done. And as we said the other time that we met, we said we borrowed from the IGF. So once we receive money from Ministry of Finance, we will make good that money back to the consolidated fund.
You have been receiving money from the Ministry of Finance. Since then, have you paid part of that to the consolidated fund?
And I would say what we receive is not enough even to.
No, but you just said that when you receive money from the.
Yeah, I said when we receive
immediately you get money.
Adequately. The emphasis is on adequate funds.
So you are telling me indirectly that it is not something that can be done, because what you are receiving from the Ministry of Finance is not sufficient.
It's difficult. It's a challenge.
So is this something that can be done or it cannot be done?
It's difficult. If you can pay your powers, if you can waive it for us, we shall be very, very happy. Because it's a challenge. What we normally receive as allotment from the Ministry of Finance is woefully inadequate.
So let's look at it from this angle. Colleagues, you want to ask a question? Okay, go ahead.
Man, I'm at a loss because I know every year you budget for it. Have you made it known to those who approve your budget that what they release to you for goods and services is not enough for you to run your ministry?
Honorable, yes, sir. We've done it several times. We've sent petitions to the Ministry of Finance that what we receive as goods and services is woefully inadequate.
Yet every year they do the same for you.
Yeah, for the past
And they do it
years.
for any other ministry. And they are able to cope with
I think I can speak for my ministry.
Yes, but what I'm saying is that they do that for similar ministries and every ministry.
Yes.
So, and they are able to manage. But in your case, you are saying that because it's not enough, you go to take money that you are not supposed to, not approved by Parliament. You spend above what is supposed to be released to you. That is completely wrong. You have to manage it. You have to manage what is given to you. I believe that that's what you have to do. Because nobody has come here to say that I can't do anything about the problem with my ITF because what I receive from Minister of Finance is not enough. No. You have to.
Honorable,
you have no choice.
Honorable, if I may add, some ministries receive 100% retention of IDF. And in our case, we had zero retention. And if you don't receive goods and services, maybe if the worst would have been to close down the ministry, which would be very irresponsible on the part of management. Because we can't buy power, we can't run the ministry.
Chief Director, this is about law. You have no right to spend above the 1/3 amount of IGF. You are mandated, you are approved to spend. So whether you can do without it or not, you need approval. You need to make sure you fight for approval first before you spend money and say you cannot do anything about it. No.
Honorable, we had the approval
the money is
this
not
year.
Your pocket,
we had it this year.
Chief
we had zero.
I'm talking. Chief Director, wait for me to learn. I'm saying that it's by law. And you have no right to go beyond the 1/3. So if you're going to beyond the 1/3 and you are saying that because of the way you're probably you don't get enough goods and services, it's not allowed because the money is not from you. You have to manage it or seek approval from the higher authority or Parliament. So you have to work on your approvals.
Thank you, sir. Well noted, sir.
Are we swearing the Deputy Minister? Honorable Minister, you are welcome.
Thank you, Chairman. Quran, yes. And you are large, so the Quran is important.
I,
Abanka Abdullahi,
swear by the Almighty God
swear by the Almighty God
that the evidence I shall give before this committee
that the evidence I shall give before this committee
touching the matter in issue
touching the matter in issue
shall be the truth,
shall be the truth,
the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
and nothing but the truth.
So help me God.
So help me God.
So, Honorable Minister, the issue is about your ministry spending IGF directly without paying it to the consolidated fund. But before I continue, let me ask this earlier another question. What constitutes your IGF as a ministry headquarters?
Chief Director will take that.
Okay.
For now.
Thank you, Honorable. This is certificates that we give to contractors. That's contractor certificates. That's the main one. And then we used to receive some money from UNDP flats. But for now, there's also a challenge there. I think that we'll come to that. Yes, yes, sir.
Okay. Now, let me ask my earlier question again. That do you think that the ministry will be able to pay this money back into the consolidated fund? 3.6 million, which was spent in 2021.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Honorable Chairman, like the Chief Director tried to explain, we agree that we're flattening the law, but this was under a circumstance that without some funding, the ministry couldn't just run. And that is why we took up the initiative to seek approval from the Ministry of Finance. And we are happy that we're granted a 33% retention for going forward. As to whether we can refund the money or not, it will be difficult for us to find money elsewhere. This is money that have been spent. They have been spent on government activities, and the auditors, I'm sure when they look through the books, they will find that these are monies that we have applied on activities, legal expenses. So we will not be able to refund the money. If we are going to refund it, it will still come from the retention that we are going to get from the future inflows. So I would think that if there's a way we can write off this and look forward to what we'll be doing with the retention in future, I think that will be better.
Auditors, can you tell this committee if the expenditure they incur with this money were genuine? Were they genuine expenditure?
Honorable Chair, we can't confirm whether it was genuine, but what we know is that IGF are also budgeted with the normal budget. So anything contrary into which was not approved and used means that you have to pay back.
I know that aspect. But the aspect I asked, the question I asked, you've answered. But your infraction didn't talk about the expenses were not genuine. That is why I asked. Want to confirm or lawful. If the spending, the items on which they spend the money were lawful, then we know that we don't have any challenge there. The only challenge we have now is whether they have the ability to pay back. But if the expenditure was not lawful, then we can then decide on what to do. That is why I asked that question. As for the paying back, you are right that they have to pay back because it's revenue that they have not been given the authority to spend.
Honorable Chair, the expenditure was lawful.
All right, I think that the only way to go about it in order to save the ministry is to write for ratification, so that once you write for ratification, you are given the approval, then that satisfies it. So we'll go by that.
Thank you, Chairman. But if you could give us more directions as to how to go about that.
Yeah, you write to Minister of Finance. Well, if you want consultancy, have a private firm.
That will be conflict of interest, or?
I say I have a private firm. I've been given license to operate as a consultant. So if you come to me, it will not have any effect on my work here.
Noted, Honorable Chai.
All right. Let's move to the next one, which is paragraph 572. That's ranking, so I'll take it. Toyota Land Cruiser not accounted for. So there's a Toyota Land Cruiser with a registration number GV114 with a chassis number in the report. Now, this was not presented for the audit inspection. Is the vehicle available? Chief Director.
Bravo, we can't trace it as of now. However, when the issue happened, we reported the issue to the police, the Ministry's police. And anytime we went there, they said it's still under investigation. Since that time. And we wrote to DVLA, to be aware that such vehicle was missing. So in case somebody came for re-registration, they should alert the ministry. And they alerted us to that effect. We reported the issue to the police, and constantly we are going back to the ministry's police to ask for the status of that vehicle. Because we know the garage that took the vehicle. So it's up to the police to up their game. So, Honorable, if you could also assist us. We've been going there, going to the police to ask for the status of the missing vehicle and also the DVLA. But as of now, that they keep on telling us they're still under investigation.
Under what circumstances that you couldn't find the vehicle? Were the vehicle allocated to a driver or department or what? Can you tell the committee a little bit about?
Okay, what happened was that we were indebted to a company, and then our accounts were garnished, and they came forcibly to take our vehicles to a garage. Then we made attempt and we paid the money.
If you say they, who are they? The they?
I mean that company.
Okay. What's the name of the company?
No, it's not Sterling. I'll get the name for you.
Okay.
So when they took the vehicles, it's not only the Land Cruiser. There were other vehicles that they took along, pickups and others. But when we went, like they were bringing back the vehicles, they came without the Land Cruiser. So we reported the issue to the Ministry's police to investigate, and they started investigation since.
So the company that came for the vehicles, it is not only this vehicle that it came for.
No, sir. No,
it
sir.
came for other vehicles also. Was it a court case? The court granted a garnish order?
Yes, sir.
And then they came for those vehicles. And then you eventually pay the money.
Yes, sir.
And they brought back the vehicle without this one. Wouldn't that be the duty or the responsibility of the company that came for the vehicle?
Yes. We're owing one Messias Yaubani Daku. Yes. And then he came, and the company was Daku Consult. And they came for that, those vehicles. So that's the name.
So if the company that came for the vehicles, he answered that it's a court case, isn't it?
Yes, a court case.
And when they came for the vehicle, is the court aware that the company came for the vehicles?
Yes, sir.
And when they brought back the vehicle without this one, is the court also notified?
That is why we informed the police.
No, I said, is the court notified?
I cannot, because I was not in charge, but I cannot be sure whether the court was.
First of all, the court should have been notified.
Yes.
Then the responsibility might be placed on that company to bring back the vehicle. It's simple. Okay? It's simple. Honorable Roxon.
Chairman, thank you. Chief Director, how long has this been pending, this matter?
2015.
The vehicle was registered in 2014, and then a year later, it fell into this problem. Which auctioneer came to fetch the vehicles?
The auctioneer's name is Eko
Ganishi order. One is that it went under Ganishi order.
Eko
Ewusi.
Yes.
Okay.
I don't know him, sir.
Oh, it's fine. It's fine. It's not a problem. Chairman.
Okay.
Chairman, I think that the ministry should further write to us with further and better particulars, so that we can take a definitive position on the matter. In the meantime, we need to write to the auctioneer to surrender the vehicles. That's the letter, the nature of the letter. Because the vehicle was, it came under a court order. Because your accounts were garnished. So until you discharged your just indebtedness under the Ganishi order, they sought to levy the execution against your movable properties first. I don't know how much it was, but we want to go further into this matter, so we need further and better particulars, so we can even pursue from our side of the divide. You need to write for a surrender of the vehicle.
Thank you, sir.
As a matter of urgency.
Noted,
and notify the registrar of the court where the matter was taken.
Yes, Honorable.
And attach
Park.
evidence of the discharge of the Ganishi Nisi.
Thank you, Chairman. Chairman, this is a very intriguing revelation. I am of the opinion that the ministry did not really put in the needed effort, because this ought not to be happening. If for nothing at all, I believe that the ministry has access to legal counsel, who obviously should have advised the ministry on what to do. The circumstances under which the vehicles were taken from the premises of the ministry to the garage must have been supervised. The circumstances under which the Ganishi was dealt with to allow for the ministry to take back or to receive all the vehicles minus the Land Cruiser must have been supervised. So this excuse that the Land Cruiser cannot be found, and for that many years, this remains a matter, Mr. Chairman, raises a serious laxity in the way we treat public property. There is no way this would have happened if this was private property. And the auctioneer could not have functioned in isolation. That's it. So these are matters of law. These are matters of law.
I remember, that's okay. I think
very well. Mr. Chairman, as you have always said, this is also part of educating the public and the people to know that we cannot always be blamed by what is going on, which is not right, as far as running this country is concerned. If this was you or me, a politician, you can imagine the headlines. Very well. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
All right. So, Chief Director, as said by Honorable Roxanne, you have to write to the auctioneer, copy the court registrar, and then also provide evidence of the discharge of the Ganishi what? Lisi. And we are learning. But the auctioneer was appointed by the court, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So when you notify the court, then it means that, Honorable Member, please, why? Now, so this should be done, and then also, if you write to the auctioneer, maybe he will respond, and those response also furnish the committee. Then we will take it up from there.
Thank you.
So, clerk, please take note of this particular case. Honorable Ajay Burton.
Chairman, I have a question. I think that the auditors would have to help us out here, because the report doesn't talk about any auctioneer thing. So I'm wondering whether the ministry did not provide this information to the auditors. Well, we have just been told that this is the situation. Yeah.
So, according to the auditors, the vehicle was not presented for inspection.
Yes.
So that is all that they know.
Yes. So that is why what we want to find out from them, whether at the time of the audit, this explanation was not provided to them.
Was this explanation provided? And if it's provided, for me, I think that the way you capture it summarizes everything. But was it provided, this information?
Honorable Chair, going through the management letter, such information was not provided. But if anything, then we have to maybe go back to the team. But we don't have that information. Thank you.
All right. I think that we have to get to the bottom of this matter. It's a simple thing. I don't think that the police should be involved in this. Well, you have reported to them. They will never finish their investigation. Let's move to paragraph 575. Vice Chairman.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. And I think for those who are listening to us to appreciate what we are talking about, let me read paragraph 576. That is the auditor's report. Our review of the rent payment indicated that the chief director failed to collect rent owed by 48 occupants of the United Nations Development Program flats, totaling $993,000 US. Now the ministry is crying for IGF, right? So $993,600 US. Further review and explanation from the estate officer revealed that some of the occupants were operatives of the national security who took over and occupied the flats since 2017 without paying the rent due, and efforts to collect such rent arrears have proven futile. My first question is, these national security operatives, are they proper national security personnel or those Delta forces that camouflage themselves as national security operatives?
Honorable Chair, our understanding is that all those who are currently occupying the UNDP flats as squatters. And this issue has come up, I think, for the past two audits that we've come to appear before this committee. And I remember my honorable colleague, Yusuf, brought a question on the floor of Parliament to question us why we're not doing something about that facility. The ministry has begun to work on reconstructing the place because currently the place is dilapidated and nobody wants to rent it. So for now, we don't have any legal renter at that facility. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
My Honorable Minister, this has gone on since 2017. 2017. And if these people are squatters, what is stopping you from using the real national security people from evicting these people?
Yes, Honorable Chair, like I said, the decision of the ministry is to reconstruct the place. So for now, we are going through some procurement processes, and until we are done with the procurement...
Honorable Minister.
Yes.
If the ministry has taken a decision to reconstruct the place, that's a good thing. He's asking about those people currently squatting. So, what is being done about that? After the decision to reconstruct is a good thing.
Yeah.
It has not been done yet. But what is happening now? What is the ministry doing about it?
Yes, Honorable Chair, we have served them letters. We are in the process of evicting them. And currently we have served them letters. And yes, I mean, we have to be also civil because...
Yes. Honorable Minister,
yes,
you don't know these people. What you are saying is they are squatters. So whom did you address the letters to? To squatter number 2 or squatter number 3?
We have done our own investigation and we have realized that some of them are police, like you said, some of them are national security operatives. So what we have done is that we wrote letters to each of the occupants of the flats, and the next move is to get them out of the place. And so we are working with other agencies to make sure that we evict them. So I can assure this committee that they will surely be taken out of the place anytime that we are ready to take place.
Honorable Minister, Honorable Minister, you are speaking under oath. Are you sure you have written letters to these people?
Yes.
And if you have, could you provide us with copies of those letters?
Yes, Honorable Chair, we can provide you with copies of
by the end of the day?
Yes, I'm sure from our files.
Do you have copies here?
We'll make copies available to this committee.
When?
Before the close of day.
Before the close of day?
Yes, Honorable Chair.
You see, Honorable Minister, this is a huge worry. Are you aware, Honorable Minister, that we used to have some Cuban doctors who came to Ghana to help us with our medical issues, living in those flats, and these people that you claim are illegal squatters kicked them out, and so they are not staying there anymore? Are you aware, Mr. Honorable Minister?
My information is that these occupants, the Cuban doctors and other diplomats, left the place because the facility became unusable. And so they had to leave. And that's why our national security operatives and other government employees occupied the place. We don't have information that they actually...
Honorable Minister,
Cuban doctors.
Honorable Minister, you are speaking under oath. When you started, you said these are squatters. Now you are telling me they are national security operatives and some police. Now, could you tell us, this committee, whether these people are illegal squatters or national security operatives?
They are illegal squatters. because we haven't officially issued, we don't have any agreement between the Ministry of Works and Housing and any of the occupants currently at the facility.
But the report says these were operatives of national security who took over and occupied the flats. So which is which?
Yes, like I said, because we don't have any agreement with them, we can only describe them as squatters.
Honorable Minister, if these people are national security operatives, my first question was, are they proper national security personnel or some of the vigilante forces that we use who came in to occupy this prime property near Ghana International School, which is in cantonments, center of town, where there are other apartments around charging $4,000 or $5,000 a month?
Honorable Minister.
Honorable Chairman,
okay. Let me ask this one. I'll call other members to also ask questions. You said the occupants are national security operatives. Is that the case?
Mr. Chairman, not exactly. I mean, we have several different categories of workers who are occupying there. We personally did some investigation on our own. And it's not like somebody officially allocated it to national security.
I'm not talking about that. You mentioned national security operatives.
No, you can find even police there. You find,
Honorable Minister.
You find people who work with
Honorable Minister.
GVC,
Honorable Minister,
yes,
please. You are before a committee. I'm not comfortable about your action, the way you are behaving. You are a minister. Please, respond to questions that we ask you. I'm asking you, you said earlier on, I just want a confirmation, that the occupants are national security operatives. And I want a confirmation, is that the case? That they are national security operatives? I want an answer.
No, Honorable Chairman, they are not only national security operatives. We have
so some of them are national security operatives.
Yes, we have even workers of GBC.
I want to lay emphasis on the national security operatives. Since when did you know that they are national security operatives?
That was discovered sometime in the, is it 2021? And some letters, we wrote letters to the Ministry of National Security, and they came back to us to inform us that they do not know those workers. Yes, but like I said, we have police who are there. We have people who work with GBC who are occupying the facility. So there are all kinds of workers who are there.
So we have national security operatives. Part of them are there. Police, they're also part of the national security operatives. They are part. Then we have GBC. Some of them are workers of GBC. You know all this. You have written to the Minister of National Security, and they wrote back to you that they don't know them. Did you write to the IGP also? Did you write to GBC also? Honorable Minister.
Honorable Chair, we are still trying to look at our documents. I'm not too sure about a letter to IGP and GBC, but I am sure of a letter to the National Security Minister.
Honorable Minister, this is not the first time this issue come up at this committee meeting. It even came on the floor through a question by Honorable Yusuf. The Ministry of Works and Housing is actually not interested in who occupy those bungalows. You're not interested. Or maybe you are covering up something. You are covering up something. Are you sure that those people who are occupying the place will definitely be evicted from those bungalows? Honorable Minister.
Yes, Honorable Chairman, I can assure you that the ministry is prepared to make sure that all those who are occupying there are evicted, because we understand that when we rehabilitate the place, we can accrue a lot of revenue to this country and for the ministry to support it in its activities.
Honorable Yusuf.
Chairman, thank you. Chairman, for me, the issue here has to do with the state losing $993,600 US. And all these years, we've been talking about this issue without resolving this matter. The outstanding amount is what we're talking about. Your answer doesn't provide any solution to or any promise that we're going to get this money. Are you saying that this money be written off, or what are you saying? Because you are here or you are captured in this report because this money is outstanding. And the conversation so far has nothing to do with whether or not the money will be paid or how we are getting the money. How are we getting this $993,600? That's my first question.
Mr. Chairman, like we said, currently it's difficult to hold any occupant of that facility for non-payment of rent because we do not have an agreement with them. So I don't know what direction this committee will give to us to handle this matter.
Hold on.
Minister, I want to find out from you. We sit here and we insist that government officials who occupy bungalows should pay rent. And in instances where they don't pay, we call for sanctions. This amount that has been accrued is as a result of somebody's negligence. Do you agree with me?
Mr. Chairman, like we said earlier on, if you go to the property, and I've personally visited the place, you will find that the property is like an abandoned property. So these occupants actually had access because it was not used. And so it is difficult to say that somebody hasn't done his job. That's why we are not able to recruit this money.
Honorable Minister, this your last sentence is false. You cannot say that the place wasn't used. I told you that there were Cuban doctors living there. Isn't that curious that these people moved in 2017? Look, I go there almost every week. The buildings were occupied. 2017, then they moved all, these people came in and kicked out the other people living out there. And then moved in. Now, would you believe that there is a presidential hideout around there, Mr. Honorable Minister? Honorable Minister, are you aware there's a presidential hideout over there? No, I'm asking him because he should know. What if, hold on, there's a reason I'm asking. If it's a, please, members, allow me. That building is not occupied. So can some of these national security people go and live in that presidential hideout around that place? because the building is not being used.
Mr. Chairman, I'm not aware that there's a presidential hideout at that facility.
Thank you. It's interesting that you are not aware, but these so-called national security people were aware of this flats. These flats are the prime area in Accra cantonment, and they've lived there for all these years without paying any rent. Go ahead, sir.
So, bro, can you put off your... Yes, I'm still on the issue of the money. Are you saying that this money shouldn't be paid?
Chairman, the issue is that now who are we going to hold responsible for this? Because if you don't have a contract with somebody, it's difficult to insist that the person should pay money. So I don't know what direction this committee will give to us.
So you are going back to my earlier question, that as a result of somebody's negligence, people got into that facility belonging to the state, belonging to government, okay, and ended up no paying this much. This money would have accrued to government. So it's as a result of somebody's negligence that we are losing this money. Do you agree with me?
Mr. Chairman, I don't agree with my honorable member because, like I said earlier on, this facility was abandoned, virtually abandoned. And so that is why the squatters had the opportunity to sneak in there.
Chairman.
So, and this facility, don't forget, was constructed in 1960. And before now, it has never seen any rehabilitation. And it was being used by experts. And so it got to a time that the whole place was just not fit for purpose. And that's why the scuba doctors...
I'm not cutting you, but I want you to be very brief with your responses for a reason, okay? I have so much interest in this case, and I've been there several times. And you remember I brought the minister to the floor. The answers he provided and some of the responses you are giving are not aligning. And you are under oath. That's why I'm saying that you should shorten your responses. For me, if we don't resolve this issue of the outstanding payment, next year you'll be here again. And this thing will continue. That is why I want us to first of all resolve this matter before we move on to the other issues. And that is where I want you to speak to. How do we treat this money going forward in our books?
Honorable Opoku.
Thank you, Chairman. Chairman, I want to find out from the auditors how they came by the figure, yes. Because according to the minister, there's no agreement. There's no agreement. So I'm wondering how they were able to compute and come by this figure.
Yeah, audit service.
Yeah, Honorable Chair, it was the information provided during the audit that we were able to come out with that figure. So we didn't manufacture that figure. We got it from the information given to us. Thank you.
Honorable Roxanne.
Chairman, thank you. Like my brother, Honorable Minister, please. You are my brother. We were in school together. So this matter is very important. This is not the first time auditors flagged it. Indeed, 2 years ago, we were assured by, I think the deputy then, I had forgotten, but the same place, that because of the findings of the audit report and the position of the committee, they were going to evict every single occupant of the place and levy their principals for the outstanding rent. I can fish out that report. So when in July 2023, the matter had been flagged again by the auditors, I don't think the work of this committee is done that it comes to bears no fruit. We don't work not to get results. We were assured by your ministry. It may not be you. And I also don't know how long Chief Director has been at post. But the persons who represented the Ministry of Works and Housing assured the committee. They even mentioned renovation. And that going forward, they will take steps, evict the people. And because I said that the national security comes to Parliament for their own budget. So if you have operatives on national security occupying your property, levy them the rent and let them pay appropriately. So applies to the police service. They are the interior. So no personnel should owe you rent, for which rent you don't know where to levy it. All the occupants have agencies that they work with. So I am shocked that today you are not able to determine even the personnel, their principal agencies, and you are labeling them as squatters. They are not. I don't want us to come back next year on this matter. So the committee is interested. Can you go back, take a data of the occupants? We are not saying go and sack them. If you think that you can continue to take rent, that's all we are interested in. Take a data on them, determine their principal agencies, and let the agents pay their rent. And we are fine. So your responses, this matter has come on the floor, pursuant to Yusuf's question. So I want to give a guide that you have a way of dealing with the matter so the auditors don't come back tomorrow and say that you haven't done your duty. The rent outstanding is important to us. If it's national security, let them pay you. Chairman, that's my position on that.
Honorable Bauer.
Chairman, I'm concerned about the recommendation of the auditor. And I would like to find out from the Chief Director whether he read the report and what the auditors recommended. The recommendation was that he either pursues the recovery or he gets the tenants ejected without further delay. And so I would like to find out from the ministry. This is a recurrent issue. It occurred last 2 years. Last year it was here. The same thing. What are you going to do about it? Are you collecting the rent or you are ejecting them? Let the committee know what you are going to do, what action you are going to take. And if you are ejecting them, give us timelines when you are ejecting them so that we know.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Yes, the directives from my minister is that we should evict them. And preparations are underway to sack all of them. Yes,
timelines.
By close of the year. No, we are going through procurement processes to redevelop the place. Please, we don't want a situation where we evict them and another people will go there. That's why I'm giving you by close of year.
Do you provide security at your properties? Minister, Chief Director, do you provide security at your properties?
No, sir.
Why?
It's a budgetary issue, sir.
So, the bungalows, the 48 bungalows we are talking about, are they 48? Flats.
They are flats, sir.
They are flats. 48 occupants are the UNDP flats. You don't have any security there?
For now, no, sir.
So, Is it negligence on your part for not providing proper care of government properties under your care as a ministry? So anybody can occupy any of your properties?
It's not negligence, sir.
And you got to know that there are people who are occupying your properties illegally, and you don't want to eject them?
Mr. Chairman, we put in place activity to eject them, sir.
Were you here in March? Was it before March? When we took the 2020 report, where this issue was flagged, were you here as part of the team that represented the Ministry of Works and Housing?
And this
committee meeting?
No, sir.
This year, when we took the 2020 report.
Yeah, I was here, sir. I was here.
Can you recollect the answers you provided to this committee and assurances you gave us about these particular flats?
We said we're going to rehabilitate and then sack them. And letters have been written to them. Honorable, we plans are underway to rehabilitate and eject them from the place.
In the same answer you gave us, and assurances you gave us when you appeared before us this year, earlier.
That is why, Honorable, we are saying by the close of the year, we can come back and
I said it earlier on that either you are not interested in protecting government properties entrusted under your care as a ministry, or you are covering up something. I said it earlier on, and I'm repeating it.
Mr. Chairman.
Yes.
Mr. Chairman, let me ask him something. The Chief Director, in his earlier submission, when we were talking about IGF, said they used to make some money from the UNDP flats. And he's here asking us to help him increase the retention. Now, if you have almost $1 million sitting somewhere, and you are not interested in it, what do you want this committee to do to help you get more IGF? You have almost $1 million sitting there. You are not interested. So asking us to help you keep more of your IGF, I think it's a non-starter. Try and collect that almost $1 million. And if we have anything to do, then we may be able to help you. But you are not interested in the $1 million. That almost $1 million at today's exchange rate is close to about 10 million Ghana cedis. And it's sitting somewhere.
Honorable Chair.
Yes.
All that I will ask is that this committee should help us to deal with that situation. Sometimes, that's all that I can say. So, Mr. Chair, kindly
you are not open up to her. How can we help you? You go to a doctor without telling the doctor where you have a problem.
This issue.
How can a doctor prescribe medicine for you? There are certain symptoms, they don't appear. They are within them. They know the problem, but they don't want to tell the committee. Yes. Honorable Apak and then Honorable Kofi, they will end it.
Chairman, it is good that the Chief Director is now beginning to say the truth. They need help to execute this matter. My only suggestion is that they should be able to provide us with the details that they have said they will provide. The letters that they said, the minister said they wrote to the occupants. Let's see the categories of the occupants so that we can truly ascertain whether these are all legitimate, as the Vice Chairman has been insisting. Let's ascertain whether they are legitimate national security operatives. And then we take it from there. But more specifically, This omnibus suggestion of we are going to renovate it, we are going to refabricate it with our timelines, do you even have the budget resources to do that by the end of this year? Let's be honest. Do you have the resources to do this work before the end of this year, which is predicated on evicting them?
Honorable Park. Mr. Chairman.
Yes, go ahead.
Sorry. Please, kindly assist us to resolve this issue.
Chairman, I will leave it here and we wait for your direction. It's a very complicated matter as far as the ministry is concerned, for obvious political reasons.
Chairman, thank you very much. I think it's pretty a simple matter that we have made so complicated. And your answers even today, I'm having a difficulty reconciling whether truly you need help and what form of help you need. Because in one vein, you said you have written to them, which the committee is asking for evidence of writing to them to at least vacate the place. In the next moment, you are saying you are putting processes in place to get them out because you do not want others to move in after you have evicted them. Is it that you are having a difficulty getting them out, or you don't want to get them out when you have not put some measures in place that will not let others in? What exactly do you want us to help you do? To evict them or to protect the place when you have evicted them? What exactly, what help do you want from us?
Honorable Chair, before I proceed on that, to answer that question, letter that was written to all occupants about the impending rejection this year. We have copies. And that is 6th of September, 16th September 2022. Addressed to all occupants, UNDP flats, cantonment.
Do you have names of the occupants?
No. It was addressed.
All occupants?
Yes, attached.
And you delivered the letter where?
Each flat.
Each flat. You went and put the letter there.
Yeah.
Did you get a response?
No, sir.
You were trying to give us the date of the letter. Have you seen the date? You were trying to give us the date. I'm interested in the date.
That is 16 September 2022.
It's very interesting. Oh. You wrote letters, say all occupants. Then you went to the flat when they had dropped the letters. Almost a year now. No responses. And you are happy that you have served them with letters. Very interesting.
So, Chief Director,
Mr. Chair, please, I'm still insisting that, Mr. Chair, kindly assist us to
order.
Well, we want to assist you.
The assistance I want to give you is for you to go from tomorrow, go and evict the occupants. From tomorrow. You know what to do. Go to the police. Get the IGP. Let him give you the men and the women uniform. Go and evict the people. That's all.
Don't worry about some other group coming to occupy first. You get those in there out. When they are out, by all means, the police will find a way of helping you to secure the facility until you have redeveloped it or renovated it to a position that it can be reoccupied by your lawful tenants. So you can make some money out of it. So don't be worried about not wanting them out because other sets will come in. That should never be part of your your reasons or your worry. Get the illegal ones out. And once they are out, you begin to work towards putting the facility into a very good state for use. Thank you.
Chief Director, I've seen the letter you served on the occupants. And the flat number A1, the person claimed to be operative of national security. The flat number A3, Mr. Matthias Dugu, accountant, GIG. What did you do about that one? Now the name is there, the department he's working is there. What did you do about that one? It's a known person.
Honorable, we abide by your directive, sir.
What did you do about this, Mr. Dugu one?
We are going to evade them, sir.
Oh. So you take the next. Apartment number A7, George Cranton, Department of Urban Roads. What did you do about that one too? Chairman. Apartment number B8, Dr. Zaid, PLO, Health Mission. You haven't done anything about it. Apartment number C4, Angela Amaboy, Ministry of Trade. You haven't done anything about it. Number C7, Edward Kwachi Menu, Operations Officer, Jubilee House. What did you do about it? The rest all claim to be operatives of national security. The minister mentioned earlier on that you are a police officer, but I didn't say anybody about police officer here. Or they are the operative of national security, and they are under that one.
Yeah, yes, sir. Yes, sir. We abide by your directive, sir.
Are there electricity supply and water supply to the flats?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
The bills for those utilities, are they served on the ministry?
No, sir.
Are the meters they are not in the name of the ministry?
Not sure, sir.
So the occupants got the meters by themselves? Okay, let me add this way. Your properties are the UNDP flats. Do you have meters?
We abide by your directive, sir.
All right. We need to come to the end of this matter. It keeps appearing in the report every year. It doesn't speak good about the ministry. So, as I said earlier on, I think that the committee will be happy for you to go and seek the assistance of the Ghana Police Service to evict them. They are occupying your property illegally. evict them, bring your reports to this committee. In fact, the auditors will go and verify that actually you have evicted them before we finalize our reports. And we want you to do that within 1 month. 1 month should be sufficient. Yes, you have already given them notice. So, and they didn't respond. And the time you gave them notice, you gave them 12 weeks, which is 3 months. That has elapsed long time. So, going to evict them, you are not against any law. We have the rent control people here who they should be even be assisting you to do this job. All right, so let's move to the next one. Paragraph 578, Honorable Aziz.
Thank you, Chairman. Yeah, the infraction has to do with the chief rent officer collecting non-tax revenue to a tune of 191,000, and instead of paying it into the consolidated fund, it was spent on operational activities. So the recommendation is that the money should be paid into the consolidated fund. So I would like to know if that has been done.
Honorable Chair, please, it has been resolved.
How was it resolved? Was it paid to the consolidated fund?
Yes, please.
Can the auditors confirm this?
Honorable Chair, we are sure of the opening of the designated holding account, but for the payment of the money, we don't have any evidence to that effect. Thank you.
Officer, and the auditors are also given a different account. Can you explain yourself, please?
Honorable, in fact, this report, pop-up 2020, the year 2020, and the management report that was issued to the department was different from the report here. So, in fact, there was nothing like what you, Mr. Chair, is reading to us. That is the only problem. That is it. That is it.
Chief Rent Officer.
Mr. Chair.
Have you collected non-tax revenue, totally 191,538?
Yes, please.
Did you pay that money to the consolidated fund, or you spent it?
Mr. Chair, we spent it.
So that is what the auditors are reporting on. Now, they are asking you to ensure that that money is paid into the consolidated fund. And then also, they are also recommending that until approval is given to retain part or all your IGF, non-tax revenue should not be spent directly, or should be paid into the consolidated fund. Now, do you now pay your non-tax revenue to the consolidated fund? You have a retention of 33%. Do you now pay the money to the consolidated fund?
Yes, please.
Okay. Auditors, can you confirm that now they pay their IGF to the consolidated fund?
Honorable Chair, now they are paying to the consolidated fund.
Now let's come to the main question. Have you paid back the 191,000 which you spent directly into the consolidated fund?
Honorable, no, please.
I think that this is a similar thing. Earlier, we met with the headquarters. The report didn't talk about if the expenditure is not genuine. So we would direct that you also do the same like the headquarters to ratify it. Okay. The next one is paragraph 583. Honorable Roxanne.
Chairman, thank you very much. Architects Registration Council. The case against you is that you spent some money in excess of 410,000 at part of your IGF without approval. The auditors are saying that you should seek approval from the minister. Other than that, you should desist from utilizing the funds. July 2023, has the approval been sought?
Yeah, thank you, Honorable Chairman. The challenge has been resolved.
Yes and no, then you explain. Yes, it's been
Yes.
approved. Okay, then you can explain.
Yeah, thank you. We have received an approval to retain 66.6% of our IGF, and we have been paying money into the holding account. We have received approval from the Ministry of Finance through the sector ministry, so the issue has been resolved. Thank you.
Have you brought this to the attention of the auditors?
Yes, please, and then we have letters as an evidence also with us.
You've given copies to the auditors? The approval letters?
Yes.
Okay, auditors, can you verify and confirm this?
Honorable Chair, in 2023, an approval was given by the Ministry of Finance to retain 66%, which we have those information with us. But the issue before 2023 is still outstanding. Thank you.
Chairman, that's why I have a question because of the nature of the recommendation. You simply recommended that they should seek approval. And from the way from the tenor of the recommendation, you're asking them to seek ratification. They've spent the money. So they should go back to try and ratify that. That's my understanding. Because we are saying if they don't do that, going forward, they should not utilize the funds. So in my opinion, once they've done that, there's nothing outstanding. Because in the other cases regarding the same ministry, you were specific in your recommendations. You didn't give a similar recommendation to, for instance, the rent control people. So if you can clarify your position.
I think that is about ratification, so they should also do the same, which is similar to the earlier one. Now, the OEB Area Water and Sanitation Scheme, is it under the ministry?
No, sir.
It's
under Ministry of Sanitation and Water Resources.
Sanitation and Water Resources?
Yes, sir.
Really?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, so the next one is Public Works Department, Takoradi, paragraph 594, Honorable Isaac Opoku.
Thank you, Chairman. Chairman, PWD Takoradi. The infraction under paragraph 594 is rent in arrears. 11 tenants of the department defaulted in rent payments, and the total amount is 51,420. The recommendation is that you should either recover the amount or you eject them. So where do we stand now? Any updates on the recovery or ejection?
Honorable, this PWD is one of the decentralized departments. So we are responsible for only the headquarters. So anything in the regions has to do with the RCCs. It doesn't fall on us.
unable to answer this question.
Yes, sir.
Chairman. Oh, okay. Yes. When was this arrangement put in place? Since 2011.
So the Public Works Department is under which ministry?
Responsible for only the headquarters.
Yeah, so which agency is now
The
responsible
RCCs.
for RCC? So that should be local government.
Local government, sir.
Okay.
So you are responsible for the PWD headquarters. But then at the regional and district level, they are answerable to local government.
Yes, Mr. Chair.
So how do the headquarters, in a way, report on them, or how do they have any relationship whatsoever in their workings? Do they to the headquarters which you are responsible for?
Yeah, if there are policies that are developed by the headquarters, then it can be sent to the regions for adherence. But they are responsible to the RCCs and the district assemblies. It's because of the decentralization that has made it so.
All right, so based on this information, it means that we are done with the Ministry of Works and Housing. All the rent issues, no, rent control, we've done that already. That one is a repetition. So that'll be all for the ministry.
Mr. Chairman, I want, on behalf of my minister, to thank you for the opportunity to appear before you and to assure you that we take on board the advices that you gave us and work on it. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
It's in court. It's in court.
Honorable Minister, we've listened to you. Thank you very much. But you know, my constituency is Ketunov. And I use the Aplau Road to my constituency. Anytime I'm passing there and I see the Seglemi projects, beautiful houses, beautiful buildings, are the fittings not deteriorating? The fittings in those in the building, are they not deteriorating?
Honorable Chair, yes, we've noticed some deterioration of some of the fittings, but
so we'll wait for all those things should deteriorate. They will come back and look for money and fix them before they are occupied.
Honorable Chair, I think government, there's a plan to deal with the Sagrame issue, and maybe in a different
to occupy it, or how? There was a time that we learned that the government want to sell them. Yeah. So what is preventing the occupation of those facilities? It's our own money. It's your tax money. It's my tax money.
We understand that it's of interest to Ghanaians, but I
Yes.
can assure you that government has a plan to deal with it.
Government is keeping too long in that plan. Government is keeping too long in that plan. The place should be occupied. It should be occupied. I drive that road, so when I see the project, I ask myself, what are we doing to ourselves?
Why don't they send the illegal squatters at the UNDP building?
You see the ministry? There are squatters, they don't care. The projects are there, they don't care. That's the nature of your ministry. You are discharged. Honorable members, let's have Ministry of Roads and Highway. Ministry of Roads and Highway.
Yes, sir. Oh, sorry. Okay. Sorry, sir. Chief, please let that one. You should be off. Okay. Thank you. Sir. I,
Stephen Pambin Jalula,
swear by the Almighty God
swear by the Almighty God
that the evidence I shall give before this committee
that the evidence I shall give before this committee
touching the matter in issue shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help me God.
So help me.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Oh, you are not coming?
No, I've been standing with the Bible. I took this.
Honorable Deputy Minister, Honorable Chief Director, the Director of Finance, and all other directors, you are welcome.
Thank you, Chairman.
You are invited because you are cited in the 2021 MDA report of the Auditor General. So we will go straight to paragraph 600 of the report, and that will be taken by Honorable Sophia.
Thank you, Chairman.
Sorry, before then, kindly introduce yourselves to the committee.
Thank you, Honorable Chairman. Good morning, colleagues. I'm Stephen Jalula, MP for Pro West and Deputy Roads Minister.
Honorable Chairman, I'm Abbas Mohammed Awulu, the Chief Director of the Ministry of Roads and Highways.
Honorable Chair, I'm Frank Osei Sechere, Deputy Director at the Department of Urban Roads.
Honorable Chair, I'm Eric Oforiaman, for Director of Finance, Ghana Highway Authority.
Honorable Chair, my name is Emmanuel Lamara, Director of Finance, Ministry of Roads and Highways.
Honorable Chair, I'm Dr. Frank Gamadi, Director of Audit, Ghana Highway Authority. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So, Honorable Sofa, you can go now.
Thank you, Chairman. Paragraph 600, unpresented payment vouchers, which amounted to 138,010. And then on paragraph 601, there's a table here that stated that the Chief Director Administration made a couple of payments and you didn't support it with the necessary documents and payment vouchers. Have you supported them now?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, that has been implemented.
Auditors, please, can you confirm to us if they have supported the documents?
Yeah, Honorable Chair, the presented payment vouchers has been presented now, and we have verified them. Thank you.
That's all for them, Chairman.
Thank you very much. The next infraction is on paragraph 610, and that is Honorable Admiral Kukisi.
Thank you, Chairman. This has to do with unsupported payments. We're within the Accra Metropolitan Assembly. Amount is 61,000 Ghana cedis, 731. And this is in relation to 83 payment vouchers. Do we have the appropriate documents for all 83 at the moment, please?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. That issue too has been resolved because we have presented the relevant documents to the auditors. But may I say that we are of the opinion that this particular issue should have gone under MMDAs and not under MDAs, which the ministry is in charge of. Because though this one is Accra Metropolitan Assembly Urban Roads, it's a decentralized unit, and they report to the local assembly and not to the Ministry of Roads and Highways. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Okay. Audit Service, do we have the relevant documents?
Honorable Chair, all the necessary documents have been provided.
Okay. So, Chairman, I think that'll be all. We'll note that. I think the clerk would note that. Thank you very much.
So how about the feeder roads? They're also under the local government, or they're under the ministry?
No, please. Feeder roads are under the Ministry of Roads and Highways.
But the urban roads are under
the assembly level.
Yes, please. The assembly level, we have urban roads that are responsible to the local authorities. Yes, but the feeder roads all over the country are under
the Ministry of Roads and
Highways.
So all these urban roads under Greater Accra, Accra Metro Office, they are all under the Assembly?
Yes, please. AMA.
AMA.
Yes, please.
But you've answered the question?
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
All right. So auditors, take note that in your future reports, we should know the proper placement of these agencies so that it will help us. So your next one is paragraph 613. Which is unpresented payment vouchers. 9,820. Has it been presented? It's also under
AMA, Mr. Chairman. Yes, please. That, Mr. Chairman, that one too has been resolved, but it's still under AMA.
Okay. Auditors, has the paragraph 613 been resolved?
Honorable Chair, resolved.
Then paragraph 615, Honorable Apak.
Most grateful, Mr. Chairman. The issue at hand has to do with unremitted withholding tax. And the amount involved is 2,682 Ghana cedis. Have you now remitted the said amount?
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
Auditors, can you confirm that this has been done?
Honorable Chair, it's still outstanding.
You say it has been done. Auditors say it's still outstanding. Does that mean you have not provided them with the evidence?
A moment, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, we have here receipts of for payment to GRA of an amount of 2,681 cedis, 20 pesos. Thank you.
The amount is 2,682. Is that the same amount that you have?
6,681, 2,681 cedis, 20 pesos.
Well, it's short by 1 cedi. This is public money. You should know. Even 50 pesos makes a difference. So, Mr. Chairman, the auditors have not seen the report, but the minister indicates that there is a receipt confirming that 2,681 has been paid. I leave it to your direction, Chairman. It is short by 1 cedi.
That's okay.
Although the auditors are here to confirm. The Chairman, I humbly request that the minister pays the 1 cedi outstanding.
In fact, I'm sure he can even give you 100 right now. The next one, paragraph 618, Honorable Dakwa.
Thank you, Chairman. So the issue has to do with avoidable interest payments on contracts. So your contract agreement between Accra Metropolitan Roads Department and the contractors permitted contractors to apply for interest. That's a penalty on payments that were not effected within the specified dates indicated in the contract agreement. Okay, so it seems there are 4 companies here, and the total amount comes to 1.1 million. Is it cedis? Yes, Ghana cedis. Okay. So can you tell us what circumstances led to the payment of accumulated interest? In fact, have you paid that interest, and what circumstances? Because I think the contract said if it delayed, then you pay. So something led to that delay. Can you just update us on that?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Indeed, it's true that when we are contracting for projects, there are clauses in the contract that allows the ministry to pay interest on delayed payments. And as we all know, government is not always able to pay on time. Therefore, incurring this cost. As we speak now, the amount in question has been paid. As
the contracts have been
executed.
The IPCs have been paid, but
the bills have been paid, except the interest on delayed payment that has not been done yet. Mr. Chairman, thank you.
Okay, so the 1.1 has not been paid, right? Okay, so did you
No,
do...
Mr. Chairman.
That's fine. So the auditor recommended that you carry out and investigate what circumstances led to the payment. You haven't paid, however, still certain circumstances led to the delay, right? So that investigation that was recommended by the Auditor General, has that been carried out?
Mr. Chairman, with all due respect, I don't think that we need to investigate why. Because we owe the contractors, we have presented our indebtedness to the Minister of Finance, and it's up to them to pay, as and when they get the funding. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, okay, so from what you're saying, okay, you went into a contract with some companies. You signed a contract saying that if you don't deliver or you don't, there's any form of delay, okay, they are entitled to A and B and C, right? And then there was a delay. And so they requested that this is my entitlement because there's a delay, okay? And you have not paid, right? All right, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I think when contracts are entered into by the government agency, especially in this case roads, there's a 91 days within which an IPC is an interim payment certificate, when it's raised, has to be paid, beyond which the contractor is entitled to interest on delayed payment. So anytime the payment is made, the contractor then calculates when was this payment due. Maybe the payment was due within 91 days. However, the payment had been made in 180 days, or the payment had been made in 360 days. So the difference between the 360 days and the 91 days, which was when the payment should have been made, the contractor then calculates the interest due. Because if I was to be paid within 91 days and you paid me in 360 days, I'm entitled to some interest. So they will normally wait till they are paid. Then they calculate from the date that they were paid, how many days was that behind schedule, and subsequently those interests, the interest is calculated subsequently. And that is what the Honorable Minister was saying. The payments have been made for the works. However, the interest payment has still not been done. But the contractor contractually is entitled to those interests. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
So I think we're on the same page. They're entitled to that 1.1 million, and that is why the Auditor General raised it, okay, and said that whoever is found culpable should pay. So the issue here is the people are entitled money which should be paid, and we just want to know, has it been paid?
Honorable Chair, I think Honorable...
You said no, it has not been paid. The recommendation says the people who are found culpable should be made to pay. You have not paid. Chairman, as it stands.
Well, here it's difficult to know whether anybody at the ministry is culpable. Who delayed the payments? Is it the Ministry of Finance? So, is it the Ministry of the Finance? Ministry of Finance delayed the payments. So if anybody is found culpable, then it should be the Minister of Finance. Because he didn't release the money, he didn't make the payments. So, I'm not sure if this recommendation is something that can be enforced. Auditors, do you think that this recommendation can be enforced?
Honorable Chair, we all know the government is already embedding with financial issues.
Are you sure?
So we are saying that our actions and inactions should be embedding the state again with things that we could do within a period of time so that we can avoid some of these.
Yeah, I agree with you.
That is what
I agree with you. That is why the ministry is saying that when the certificate is raised, it is supposed to be paid within 91 days. If it is paid within 91 days, no interest component comes in. But if it is paid even 1 day after the 91 days, the contractor will calculate interest for that 1 day. Now, if the delay is over 1 month, the interest will be growing. The longer the delay, the higher the interest component. In this case, the interest accrue up to 1.1 million. The calculation was based on when the actual principal was paid or the certificates were paid. The question is the delay an inaction of the Ministry of Roads and Highway officers, or is an inaction of the Ministry of Finance? It's a thorny issue. Minister of Finance will come and tell you that taxpayers didn't pay money, so I'm unable to pay at the time it was due.